Finn, and then one from somewhere else. Anyway, so I sent out a second update midday today, and sort of the good news is we're getting some input that starts to make this look like a real report. Of course, I have not really read any of it in detail, and I certainly haven't read it in the sense of, does it match up in content or style? Does it overlap with any of the other sections? But that's to be expected, and that's what's coming up ahead of us. And what I know is in the works is Matt Danzer and I are going to work on sections 8 and 9, which whenever we reconvene, I hope we'll have at least the first draft of that. And then I saw, Betsy, that you were graciously invited those on your team to convene and look over what you had drafted. So, and then of course there is the full commission meeting on Monday, at which Representative Lamar and I will be asked to give a brief report on where we are. So that's where we are. If after I drop off, if any of you want to, converse about what you've seen so far, Matt Mandel asked me, how do you want us to handle what we've read so far? If you have reactions to it, and what I said to Matt, and I'll say to all of you, is I don't think it's worthwhile going into the document and making edits at this point. But if you want to give me and Representative Lamar and the group a list of bullet points of things that you have concerns about, so that we're all looking at the same thing, I would say, by all means, go ahead and do that. So that again, that's recognizing that, that there's still a lot of content to be plugged in. And then, of course, with the hard work of, coordinating it and making it make sense. So before I log off, Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, so we should be working on the draft that you just sent with the 14 extra pages in section 4.
Yes.
Is that what you want us to be working off of?
Yes. So that what I sent midday today supersedes the one from yesterday, if that's your question.
Okay. Is it the intent that each of these sections is going to be as fleshed out as that one was, and this document is going to press towards 70 pages, or a more condensed?
No, I don't anticipate our final product is going to be 70 pages. But that's why I said that, with the editing, we're collecting the input, and then we got to, one of the editing tasks will be to get it down to something that's digestible. So absolutely.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because you're looking at that. It was great work. Tremendous effort was put into that, but it's very long just for that one section.
I understood. And better to work with too long than too short. So, okay. And Kathleen, I haven't forgot about you. We got to find a place for your text. And I would say that now that you've seen at least the first draft, if you want to go back to that email you did 3 weeks ago and make a suggestion as to where you could plug in the various points you made, that would be a good next step.
Okay, I gave 3 or 4 to Betsy, primarily under the barriers to entry, barriers to the affordable housing, just 3 or 4 of the points. So I tried to consolidate them a bit. I'll take another look at it as well, but I did offer a few points there if they care to include them.
Very good. Let's see, Emily. Oh, hello, Rebecca Auger.
Hi, Tim.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Rebecca has a new job at OPM. I hope it's going well. And I see Michelle with her Connor with her hand raised. Michelle, is there any question you have, or you'll have to unmute?
Sorry, it shouldn't be raised. My mistake.
Okay. And Emily, you contributed some content which has been plugged in. Thank you for that. And I think you and Finn are continuing to work on section 5 and 6. Any questions we can help you with before you put your nose to the grindstone again?
I'd be happy to clean up and work more on section 7. that I've
Okay,
done.
okay, good. I should note that, section 7. Okay.
Hey, Tim, it's Rick Forth. Can I make a quick comment? I'm participating by phone.
Go for it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. First of all, I so appreciate all the good work that people have done. And like you say, it is starting to take form, and that's exciting. It's really exciting. With regard to the idea of providing a menu or a list of best practices for towns to access and think about and potentially include in their plans and implement, Sustainable Connecticut is working on a data project which would summarize in an Excel spreadsheet format, as I understand it, the various recommendations that are going into the plans that have been submitted already, and that could serve as a really good way to exchange information and to provide best practices and so forth. And I just wanted to mention that I think the kind of data they're collecting might also help with the affordable housing needs assessments in the towns. I just mentioned that now, Tim and everybody. There are other folks that continue to work that around these issues that could potentially help us before we're done with our report.
Okay. So Rick, do you mean the Sustainable Connecticut as a template, like a format for our report, or does that actually say things relative to affordable housing?
No, it's not a format for our report, but they've begun to collect, I hope in a way that can be accessed and used effectively by all of us. They've begun to collect information on what's going into the municipal affordable housing plans, and also data which could potentially be used by individual towns as they assess need for affordable housing.
Okay. Okay, good. Okay. Unfortunately, I have to log off. Now, the link will stay open, so if any of you want to linger on and just kick things around, I can check in later, but I do have to log off. Okay. We have not set a next meeting yet, but I'll talk to Representative Lamar about that, and we'll go from there. Okay. All right. Be good, everybody. Thank you. Sorry to bail, but once in a while I have to do things I don't want to do. So talk to you soon.
Thank you, Tim.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
I did have a question for Rebecca if she's still on. I don't think she is. But I know she's taken Dan Morley's place at OPM. And I was wondering if the website was going to be updated because it didn't look like the municipal inventory of plans have been updated since the end of June.
I guess I should chime in here, being at OPM. I believe that it had been that the plan was to update it approximately monthly, and even at that slow pace, that time seems to have come. I'll check with Rebecca and make sure this is something that hasn't slipped through the cracks. It was a task that Dan handled himself, and so I wasn't very close to it, and I'll check with her.
Okay, great. Thank you, Bruce.
Yep.
Hey, Betsy, can
Yes.
you hear me?
Yep.
I had a question, since you have oversight or communication with a lot of the towns. Do you know how many towns? Tim signed off too quickly for me to ask him, but I know there was a provision to opt out of that the accessory dwelling, as long as I think you got 2/3 of the vote from the zoning commission and the town council. Do you have any idea of how many towns have or haven't done that?
I don't at this point. The deadline, I believe, is
Okay.
January 2023 to opt out.
Yes.
But I don't have any information on that. It was actually discussed at one of the COG meetings yesterday.
Okay.
But if I see any data, I could share it with the group. I don't know if that's
Okay, very good.
Desegregate Connecticut or the partnership is looking at.
Okay, I was just
It's actually,
curious. I think,
it's ancillary dwelling unit, by the way, not accessory. It needs to change in the book, in the text in the report.
Yeah.
It's just to
okay,
throw that out there.
okay. I thought it was accessory. I've always heard it called that. Very good. Okay, thank you.
All right. Well,
Thanks, Betsy.
thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you guys.
Yep,
Okay, bye-bye.